Hi everybody, in this video I just wanted to talk about options trading in a very general sense because some people ask me about them and they want to learn, but I think it's important to talk about some advantages and disadvantages of options. So what are options? I'm not going to go into what calls and puts are. I've already made a video about that, an intro video, and there's already plenty of videos on YouTube explaining exactly what calls and puts are. I'm going to talk about it in a very general sense for people who aren't already familiar with options trading. So, what are options? So, when you're first investing, the way you make money, a lot of people think you buy low and you sell high. So, you buy a stock for $100 and then later you sell it for $200. Easy to understand, right? You buy it for a low price and you sell it for a higher price and you make a profit that way. Or maybe you make money off of dividends that the stock pays. But in general, your ways of making a profit are very limited. Buying low and selling high. Or just holding onto the stock and collecting dividends. What options do is, well, they give you more options in order to, different ways for you to make money, for you to make a profit. Instead of just buying low and selling high, you could bet that a stock will go down in price. So you'll make money if the stock actually goes down. You could make bets that the stock will stay exactly the same price. If a stock is, I don't know, $220 a share, you can make a bet that that stock will stay exactly $220 a share, and you make the maximum profit that way. You could bet that it will go in extreme ways in either direction. It'll go up to $1 million a share, or it'll go down to zero and you'll make profit that way. Or you could make a bet that nothing will happen and just collect money just from time passing. There's many different ways for you to make money using options. You don't have to just buy low and sell high anymore. It opens up a lot of opportunities and different ways for you to actually make a profit. So that's one advantage of options, is that it gives you more flexibility in terms of how you make a profit. If you don't trade options, you're pretty much limited to buying a stock and waiting for it to go up. But with options, you can make money all sorts of different ways. Betting that it'll go up, go down, it'll be above a certain price, it'll be below a certain price, it'll be in between these two prices, it's gonna hit exactly this price by this expiration date. There's a whole bunch of different ways. So versatility, that's an advantage. Another advantage is the potential reward is very high. Not guaranteed rewards, all right? Nothing's guaranteed. But the potential rewards, if you bet correctly and you make a bet with options and it turns out that you guess correctly, your potential reward is very high. Some people, they can make like 500% overnight. They could 5x or 10x their account overnight with options. Potentially. Again, keep in mind, nothing is guaranteed. It's just the potential reward is very high. A lot of people who aren't familiar with options, they see other people trading options and see them making a whole bunch of money in a short amount of time and they get really excited. Listen, that's just the potential reward. Nothing is guaranteed. But that is an advantage. If you do guess correctly and you make the correct bets, and it turns out you were right, the potential reward can be high. Now let's talk about some negatives. Just as the potential reward is very high, the potential loss is also very high. You could lose all your money. And as I have personally demonstrated, if you've been watching my videos, you can see that I went from over $70,000 down to like $14,000 in a very short amount of time. So it's very high risk, high reward. Potentially, you could either make a lot of money or you could lose a lot of money, depending on what you do and how you play the options. Now, you have to ask yourself, are you able to handle risk? That much amount of risk? Not everyone has very high risk tolerance. Some people just can't handle it, and you have to be honest with yourself. If you woke up one day and 80% of your portfolio is now gone, and you just lost most of your money, are you able to handle that? Be honest with yourself. Because if you do not have that high of a risk tolerance, and you can't handle potentially losing most of your money in a very short amount of time, I don't think you should be trading options. Again, I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but that's my personal opinion. If you don't have the stomach to, potentially handle the losses, you could potentially lose all or most of your money. And you have to be honest with yourself if you can actually handle that. And if you can't, it's probably a good idea to stay away from options. Options are super risky. You could potentially make a lot of money. You could potentially lose most or all of your money. So keep that in mind. All right. And lastly, I want to talk about how difficult options are to understand. For beginners and people who aren't already familiar with options, it takes a lot of time and effort to really understand options. I know it did for me. It took me months and hours each day. I would be constantly researching options. And then I finally got a decent understanding of it. And if there's something I've learned from looking at people's comments on YouTube, there's several things, all right? People want quick answers. They want quick results. They don't want things done at a slow pace, or they don't look at things in the long term. They look at things in the short term. They want quick satisfaction. If you're new to options and you want to learn, it's not going to be quick. You're not going to be familiar with options overnight. And that's the unfortunate truth. I know it's not what you want to hear, but that's the truth. For a lot of people, it's very difficult to learn about options. It takes a lot of time and effort. Some people, they live a very busy life and they can't really take time out of their day to learn about options. And it's going to require that. If you're really serious about it and you really want to learn, it's going to take time. Going to take time and effort. There's a whole bunch of information you got to learn. And I know, people want to learn things quickly, right? They just want things quick. Unfortunately, options aren't something that you could learn in 5 minutes. It's not. It takes a lot of time and effort and practice. If you're going to do options, obviously, even if you are able to actually learn how they work, you shouldn't even get into doing real trades with real money. Do it in a paper account first. But geez, that's the thing I'm talking about though. First you have to do the research and watch videos and read articles and stuff on how options work. And then after you get an understanding of how options work, you got to do paper trading before you actually get to the real thing. Because like I said, potentially you could lose all your money. So if you're using your real money, that's putting your real money at risk. So instead of doing that at first, it's a good idea to do paper trading first so you're not risking your real money. You're doing, options trades without actually putting your real money at risk if you use a paper account. But yeah, it takes a long time to understand. And some people, even if they spend the time to do it, they just can't understand it in the end. It's really difficult to understand. So yeah, it's not going to be quick and easy to learn about options. It just isn't. And if you're really serious about it, the reality is you're going to have to put in the time and effort. So yeah, in summary, 2 advantages of options. It gives you more flexibility and opportunities and different ways of making profits. And the potential reward is high. Potentially, if you're right on your bets, you can make a lot of money. 2 disadvantages of options trading. The potential loss is very high. You could lose all your money, or most of it, in a very short amount of time. You could wake up one day and your account will be gone. Secondly, it is very difficult to understand and learn about options. Very difficult. It takes a lot of time and energy to learn about options. So yeah, this video was just to talk about options in a very general sense for people who aren't very familiar with it and want to get into it. And I just wanted to say these advantages and disadvantages of options trading in general. I'll be making more videos on, I guess, more specific types of trades like spreads. I've already done it before, but someone has asked me to do it again, so I will do it again. But this was just to talk about options trading in general and what my thoughts are. All right, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.